ever had a year of truly chaotic planner hopping, welcome to the video for you. 2023 was the first full year that I did YouTube, which meant I was thinking about productivity and making videos about planners 24/7, and that caused me to change my system like crazy. And not everything stuck. Many of my best ideas I made videos about on this channel fizzled out after a while or only worked for me for about a month, and I ended up moving on to the next new thing that I thought would solve all my problems. If that sounds like you, trust me, you are not alone. This video, we are going to do a full flip through in as close to chronological order as possible of all of the planners that I used in 2023. So let's head over to the flat lay and explore a full year of my productivity systems. Okay, so for this video, I'm going to sort of explain the planners I was in, how things intersected with each other, and then we're gonna do full flip throughs of each one as much as I can show you. So for the majority of this video, you're going to be seeing the common planner, which I've shown flip throughs before on this channel, so I'm gonna go through it really fast. Essentially, this is the Sterling Inc. full year common planner in B6. This was the first year that she launched the planner, so it's gonna look a little bit different if you buy one or have bought one for 2024. But essentially, she made this planner with dated content at the front and then 365 blank pages in the back in case you wanted to have a day per page. So I was really curious about this planner, so I bought it for 2023 and tried it almost all year. I used it for most of the year. I actually moved into this planner in December, and I'll show you when we go through the flip through, I'll show you what that looks like. But I actually moved into this planner in December, even though it started in January, because I just couldn't wait. I thought it would be so fun to use it, and I was really excited to use it. But also in December 2022, I was using my dual weeks system. So I had this thought at the beginning of the year that my 2 weeks system was going to be the backbone of my planning in 2023. Spoiler alert, that did not pan out, but we're gonna look at what I had set up, what my idea was in the beginning. I kept them in this Asian vintage case so that I could carry them together. I kept 2 Hobonichi Weeks planners, one of my favorite planners. And if you open them, you can see that this planner case is big enough to hold 2 Hobonichi Weeks. I always get questions about this, so I will leave the shop below, but I don't think you can get my exact planner cover anymore, but I will leave the shop below, I promise. So this first one, which was the Champagne Gold, was supposed to be for my work life, and then this one, this Mon Uncle cover, or however you say it, I always say it wrong, was supposed to be for personal, so my personal life. You can see just from like the inside covers basically how much they got used. This is the inside cover of my work one, and then this is the inside cover of my personal one. A lot more personality here, so I ended up using this one a lot more throughout the year, but essentially these start in December, so I set them up in December. I think about like March I stopped using this very much, and then from there I was in and out of these 2 planners all year for the most part, but there were some other additions that I made throughout the year. So for example, in January I got the pocket craving. I just had such a craving for a pocket notebook, and I purchased this little guy. It's a moleskin pocket notebook with grid paper, graph paper in it. I love graph paper. I'm not like necessarily a dot paper girly, even though I know a lot of people in this community love the dot paper, but it's not for me. So I used this a little bit throughout the year, not really in a planning sense. Mostly it was in a journaling sense. So I'm going to show you that right now. Oh, I also used it as a wallet. In here are like some cards and things that I want to keep around. Obviously I don't want to show you like my credit cards, but like that's an ID card that I have, you know, stuff like that. So I was using this as a wallet and carrying it around with me every day in my pocket. And I started in the back, like instead of starting from the front pages, I started this from the back pages because it's my planner and I can do what I want. I started with a grid map there, and then I started experimenting with some layouts in this like small pocket size. And this was just my play place in January of 2023. So again, it's sort of mirroring what I do in other planners, and I'll get to that later, but it quickly stopped being a place where I could really be productive because I had so many other planners, and it started being like a sketchbook and a diary for me while I was on the go. So this is an example. I was sketching a bar that I was at while I was waiting for a friend. This is a page where I'm sketching just like horses and photographers and stuff. I was at like a rodeo, I think. Some sensitive journaling about tarot readings that I've done. Yeah, it's a lot of personal stuff. So I'm trying to find something that I can actually show you. Okay, yeah, I did use this for YouTube notes a little bit along the way. These are outlines for a few videos that have already gone up. And basically I was using them to just like get a sketch on paper and get some notes down and get an idea for the thumbnail down and stuff stuff like that. So that was fun. Oh, this is one of maybe my best thumbnail concepts. That's me, in case it wasn't glaringly obvious. And then this has remained blank. So really throughout the year, I bought this because I was having a pocket craving, and then I just ended up using it as a wallet / journaler on the go. And what I found was I really liked this because like doodling and drawing and taking notes and stuff stopped me from going on my phone for a period of time, specifically Instagram. So that has been really nice to carry this around as sort of like something to reach for instead of my phone when I'm bored or whatever, not feeling well. But this was not really a planner, so it didn't really encompass a lot of planning, but it was just around for most of the year. And then also throughout the year, I set up the occasional blank notebook. This was a notebook I wanted to use for goals for the end of the year. It didn't really work out that way, but it is around, and I'll leave the video where I set this up in the cards too. But let's get back to the meat of my system, which was the common planner. So I'm gonna show you, I think I wanna flip through a little bit of this, and then we'll get into the hobonichi weeks, and then we'll come back to the common planner. So the first thing I did when I moved into the common planner was I set up the weeks in the back. So in this planner, the months are all front loaded, and then it's the weeks. And she does give you December of the previous year, even though technically the planner starts in January, but she does give you December of the previous year in the monthly. So I used this for the monthly. And then in the back, I set up sample sort of weeks pages just to start using it for December 2022. I know I wrote December 2023 up there. We all make mistakes, folks. This was what it looked like in the beginning, just kind of testing some things out, trying out some styles of planning in a vertical weekly, that kind of thing. I fell off of it for the last couple weeks of December because I was just doing things with family, and I found myself more into my other notebook, which was my hobonichi weeks. So let's look at those planners now, and I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of how I set them up. In my work planner, which I was in December, these planners actually do start in December, the hobonichi weeks. In my work planner, I was setting up I set up the yearly section here with a bunch of dates that were important to work and personal holidays. In the monthly sections, I was using my distraction method. You can see I'm using it a lot in December and in January. Again, I will leave a link up in the cards to a full breakdown of my distraction method. I think it's cool if you want to know more about it. So I was using it in January, a little bit in February, and then I really fell off of using this planner in March. I just kind of stopped using this planner because, spoiler alert, having two of the same planner is actually like really hard to maintain. And you feel like you're duplicating a lot of information. So it was much easier for me to stop using this planner and move into this planner full time. I set up the months with just important dates anyways, but they did not get used after the first time I set them up. It was really not much attention was paid here. And then in the weekly section for December, this was sort of what it looks like. This is a good example of what what the template really looked like for me. I had events over here on the side, priorities in this column. I had memories here, which had a lot of stickers involved. I liked to sort of document memories with stickers, and then it had notes and maybe some mini journaling over here on the side as well. And this carried on for a little while. This was just what was in December. Again, I wasn't working at the end of December, so not a lot in these two last weeks. I pick back up with this in January, but I try something new. I'm trying priorities down here because this is my work one. I'm not really using the weekends. I'm trying that here as well. Just a lot of pen and like the occasional stickers. I get into like some ink tests here, I guess. And then this is it just sort of crumbles. It just sort of falls completely apart. And then I stop using it around February. You can see I'm not in the weeks at all in February or March. Do I have anything else on these pages? Yes. Okay. It looks like in the back I have a few notes pages. Yeah. I mean, this is my order for kava if you want to give me kava. And then these are like some systems that I'm planning out. This is mostly like YouTube content actually, which is interesting. Notes on an event that I went to, and then it just stops. It just stops. Yeah, so I really did not use this one a lot, and essentially was just in this one. This was my hobonichi weeks. And in the beginning, I really set this up very lax because I didn't know what I wanted it to be. So my important dates over here were the moon phases, which I do live my life by, sort of. I had a lot of plans for how I was going to use this yearly section. Didn't pan out. And then the
monthly sections were just going to be basically like dates, important dates with like a little bit of deco. And that's pretty much how it worked for a long time. I didn't keep up with doing the stickers and the washi tape for a while. Essentially, I just tried different things. But in the middle of the year, I was not really planning very much in this because I was mostly in my common planner. So I'm gonna put this aside and I'm gonna show you what the common planner looks like and how I set that up. And then we're gonna return to the hobonichi weeks in a second. So in the common planner, and again, I'm trying to give you guys an idea of like how I was moving through these planners so you can sort of see what my thought process was and where I fell off of one and when I moved into the other. So I'm sorry this is not super linear, but it is linear in terms of time. The beginning of the common planner has a goals page. It has a blank spread and then it has a goals page. I'm going to show you that really quickly. It has some sensitive like weight and health information on it. So if you're triggered by numbers, use the timestamp on the screen right now and just jump ahead to when that's off the screen. But I'm just going to show you really quickly how I used the beginning of the common planner. I have so many videos about my goals of 2023. I will leave one of them linked up in the cards where I discuss like how I failed at my goals essentially this year. But I'm just going to show you for the context of this video basically how I used the front matter. So we're flipping to that page now and you can see that this is a goal breakdown page. I wrote my goal over here on the side in this empty column, and then in the someday column in blue ink I wrote my why. I wrote why I wanted to achieve whatever goal I was wanting to achieve. I wrote in the 1 year column and half year columns, I wrote with green ink the actual like numerical goal or structured goal that I wanted to achieve, and you can see I'm also using green ink to carry that into the quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily section. But most of this part is taken up with red ink, which was supposed to be my actions that I was supposed to take throughout the year on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis in order to achieve these goals. Feel this way and check this off at the end of the year. Again, I did not accomplish a lot of that, so I will leave that video in the cards, but that is sort of how I was thinking about using it. These quarterly breakdown spreads were great. In theory, they have a bar for each month and then a column for each month with the dates and days of the weeks. And I really couldn't find my stride with these. I tried a bunch of things like planning out my priorities in this column, accomplishments in this column. I was trying to use this to track my period, my energy, my sleep, and my mood over here, and that really quickly fell off. Essentially, this quarterly system just like didn't quite click for me, and I eventually stopped using it throughout the year, but that was sort of this was my greatest attempt at using it, and it only really half worked for me. Mostly because in like April, May, June, I was just extraordinarily depressed. And you'll see a lot of blank pages around that time. I'll leave my flip through of that quarter up in the cards as well. Gosh, so many videos in the cards right now. But yeah, it was just like my planner was like very, very empty because of that. And so I already showed you what December looked like. And so in January, I was back in this planner just as I was like trying to use my personal planner and everything like that. This is what my monthly section looked like for the most part in this planner. So January was very decorated. This was a fun spread to make, but I usually don't decorate this much. And then in February and March and April, we get into some more like basic block planning. It's not really that intense. May, again, was really hard for me, so not a very intense month. June was good. July, I was in this planner a lot because I was doing one book July, so I was just in this planner. I was not in my weeks planner or any other planner at all. And then in August, I started experimenting with these sticky notes and sort of cutting my days and the monthly in half between the morning and the evening. And then I sort of carried that on. I kind of tried to do some tracking down here, some sleep tracking here, but it didn't quite work. I just didn't keep up with it. And then in October, November, December, I was like really not in this planner basically at all. So the last quarter of the week, it was not very good. I used the extra January spread just to experiment on some things. And then we get into the weeks. So this was like the last week of December of 2022. I love this spread. It's a fun memory keeping spread. And then you can see me start to experiment a little bit more. So I've covered most of my content here in other flip throughs on the channel. I'll leave them in the description, cards, whatever, somewhere where you can find them. So I'm gonna go through this pretty quick because I've talked a lot about how I was using this planner, but essentially I was experimenting a lot, trying to figure out how I liked to use a vertical weekly. I liked some sidebar stuff. You can see me trying to figure out how I want to document like my workouts. Do I want to use stickers? Basically just experimenting with the weekly section, and I'm pretty consistent content with the weekly section here for the most part. I love using little stickers to sort of like witness myself throughout the week. I liked this kind of deco. It was kind of fun. This vertical line I get questions on all the time was actually, I was intermittent fasting in the beginning of this year. And so that is the intermittent fasting window when I was actually eating. Your feasting window or whatever, which sounds just so disgusting, but that's what it was. Some weeks, just eggs and toast, man. Some weeks, just eggs and toast. A lot of variance. And then yeah, in May, you can see I'm not really doing... This is where I started working with a brand called Hubman and Chub Girl. I loved Hubman and Chub Girl. They send over boxes of sticker kits, and this is one of their sticker kits. It's like the Cozy Cat set, I think. Hubman and Chub Girl is also very kindly sponsoring this video. I recently got their holiday box for this year, which is so cute. Let me just take everything out. So like I said, this is their holiday themed box. They have like a zillion other themes too. I've seen cactuses, like I showed you earlier. They have a cozy cat set, and they are adding new themes every single month. So it looks like in this box, you get a set of Christmas cards and envelopes, a bunch of washi tapes to seal your envelopes or decorate with, vinyl stickers, a cute keychain. I love their keychains. They also have pins in some of their other boxes as well. And they also have whole planner sticker sets in their boxes. There's obviously character stickers like this and planner kit items like this. But if a whole planner kit or sticker box is too much for you or more than you need, they have smaller sticker kits that are perfectly sized for your hobonichi or whatever planner you're using. So if you're looking to crack into a brand new planner in the new year or spice something up you already have, Hubman and Chub Girl has your back. You can head to my link in the description box below and enter the code Rachelle15. That's my name, Rachelle 15, for a sweet 15% off your order. Thank you to Hubman and Chub Girl for sponsoring. Okay, let's clean all this back up and get back to my planner. You will see throughout this video that I use a lot of Hubman and Chub Girl, especially in July. This is June, and then so especially in like June and July, I use a lot of Hubman and Chub Girl. We'll see them in the back too. Not really into it in the beginning of the weeks, but I get back into it in July when I am again like using this pretty much full time. It's my only planner because I am doing one book July. A lot of Hubman and Chub Girl. And then in August, there's a few days here and there when I didn't use it. Yeah, and I really kind of fall off my weekly from here. Like some weeks I fill out the whole thing, and then some weeks look like this, and then some weeks are just totally empty. I find with vertical weeklies, I just get kind of exhausted with them after a point. I don't really find a use for them. And then for like a few months, I will really need a vertical weekly. So it's kind of hit and miss for me. And that's what the weeklies were in this planner. And then let's go through the daily pages. So I thought I was going to do some kind of YouTube tracker here. That didn't happen. This is a graveyard of sticky notes about planner video ideas that I had, which is fine. Most of these are on my channel. If you see anything you like, go ahead and watch it. Go ahead and search my channel for it. This is a note that I wrote at the beginning of my planner on January 1st, sort of where I was at, all that kind of stuff in the beginning. I was taking some notes on the getting things done method. And then I started just doing dailies here and there. And I was taking notes on things I was interested in. Like I got super into the Kibbe body system. So did every other woman on the internet. I started writing out some outlines for some videos in the back. Basically just playing around, doing pretty consistent dailies in these two columns, putting stickers down, witnessing myself, all that good stuff. This is a glow up game plan that I had for April. It like didn't really come to pass, but I learned a lot. And then I started taping off some pages as well. So I started doing some journaling, and I would just tape off pages like this so that I didn't have like accidentally flip to a page where I was like talking about traumatic journaling or whatever. Just playing with layouts. I did quarterly reviews for a while. I had accomplishments, recurring joy, recurring pain, and then action points as part of my quarterly reviews. Again, just like sketching here and there, writing out lyrics that I liked, taking notes, burnout notes. This was a fun spread to do because it just felt like taking notes. And then I had a lot of therapy notes in here. Actually, I started doing a lot of therapy notes in here around May because again, my mental health was like in the garbage. So what was I using my planner for? It was therapy. And I've covered all of them up, of course, but you can see some of the columns sort of stick out. Notes on commonplacing. I tried the dot method for a while that, oh gosh, what's her name? Megan Rhiannon. I tried the dot method for a while that she does on her pages for her journals, and it just did not really work for me. Oh, I got a little camera at this point in the year, which was the Pooley print. It usually has a beak, but mine doesn't because I don't care for the beak. And it prints out these like black and white pictures, and I just thought they were cute, so I started printing a bunch. More therapy notes, some analytics stuff. Oh, I was testing out another idea for a journal layout. Again, some dots. It didn't really work out. Oh, this was a fun page. I order so much from Starbucks, just an insane amount from Starbucks. So I started sticking all my Starbucks orders into my planner when I had it with me. And I also would stick some other like stickers that I got from other shops. Have not filled up this page, but kind of fun. More Hubman and Chub Girl stuff here, which is great. Again, trying out other layouts, seeing how I liked them, some thoughts on planners, another quarterly review, a brain dump, and then I split it up into an Eisenhower matrix, which I actually love doing this. I did this for July and some other weeks. This page is taped off because it's more therapy notes. The Hubman and Chub Girl is so strong on this page. I really loved this set, this Cozy Cat set, and they send you so much product when you order one of their boxes. You just get so much. Some notes on YouTube short form, some notes on body care. This was funny. I posted this on Instagram because I wanted to do like a cover page. I was kind of inspired by Theory of Lauren. Wanted to do a cover page. And then the idea was on this page, I would print out pictures and do memories here. But I didn't. I just didn't. And I did so much cool stuff in August. I went to Taylor Swift's concert. I went to Noah Kahan's concert. Oh, I was going to do a running task list here. And then I just wrote LOL nope because that did not happen. God, yeah, this year was kind of rough in terms of planning. This was fun. I got an order of washi tape from the Coffee Monsters Co. That was pretty cool. Another brain dump, more planner thoughts. I had lots of planner thoughts, even though I wasn't really using my planners. This I think I did for a video. Oh, this was fun. This was just like lyrics and I was just writing them out. Kind of cute. And then we get into a lot of stuff that I was just doing for videos. Like I demonstrated or planned things out on videos. This was for a thumbnail. I was trying to take a picture of that for a thumbnail. I had to use like 3 pages. Good times. And then that's it. I really didn't use the full back pages to their full advantage, which is fine. I was in this planner for most of the year, but when I wasn't, when it sort of fell off like you saw around the fall, I was moving back into this planner. And I want to show you what I can from this. So I was trying something in August where I was doing like what I'm reading, watching, listening to. Okay, sorry for having to cover basically all of this up, but I started tracking my health information in September in the monthly section and it worked. I liked it a lot. Obviously it's my health information I'm not going to show you. On the sidebar I did have my sleep, which was fun to track. I really like tracking my sleep, but it doesn't always happen. Let's look at October. Actually, we can't look at October. It has more sensitive information, so we're just going to skip ahead to November. November, I really was not involved in this planner very much, so this is what it looked like. And same thing with December. It's just a list of holidays. Again, the monthly sections, they baffle me. I'm going to go through the rest of this planner super quick, just showing you what the weeks looked like. In the beginning here, I was using it just for personal stuff. So you see a lot of notes, you see a lot of big text. This is all journaling. This was a really fun spread, actually. All memory keeping in this one, really fun stuff. And then I'm still using it for my personal life. You might see a lot of like content stuff here, which I'm trying out. I sort of fall off of it, and this is when I start really being in the common planner. So there's not a lot here in March. I tried to set this up as like a reading log for a while and that just fucking failed. Excuse me. I tried to set this up as a reading log for a while and that just did not work. I didn't really read enough for that to be possible. And then sort of in August, once I finish One Book July, I'm back in here and I'm just using this planner as it demands to be used, as I want to be using it. I'm not putting pressure on myself to fill the whole page. So a lot of times it's just like the first few days. This really got used. That really got used for sure. Yeah, just sort of filling it out as we go. Sticking down washi tape from food places that I get. In November and December, I'm not really using it very much. Let's look at the back pages really quick before we wrap this up. I attempted to do some trackers here. That didn't really work out, although I think they look nice. Again, I attempted to set this up to be a reading journal. That really did not pan out. I just didn't read enough. I did get some good notes down for some stuff that I read, which was really fun. I did note a few things, and that was cool. More washi tape samples, YouTube stuff, that was fun. Another brain dump, current media spread, which was fine. Trying to set up some ideal self stuff in here. Oh, this was fun. So this is what I did for October. I actually drew a new layout in the back and just sort of sketched things out. And I had like a core memories up here, which was really fun. I had my sleep. I loved the way this looked, and honestly, I loved the way it functioned. My idea was to have this month in the back and then flip it over, and I have my brain dump and tasks that I need to accomplish. I was more in this than I was in this, and I sort of figured out that I like memory keeping a lot, like in this format, and my tasks were sort of all over the place, to be honest. More like Kibbe notes and stuff. These are like ADHD notes that I took on a video. I'm convinced that I have ADHD after all of you guys comment on my videos like, oh, these tips work for me as an ADHD person, and I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. If the tips work for you, do I have ADHD? Not sure. Anyways, so these are some goals. I was trying to like figure out what I want to do, what I want to have in 2024, and then it sort of ends. And yeah, that's about it.
So after 2023 is all said and done, the main lessons I learned are these. Number one, I will always reach for a hobonichi weeks. It has my favorite weekly layout, and it needs to be somewhere in my planning system because when I am feeling stressed, for some reason, that little book is like my golden ticket to feeling calm and productive. The second lesson I learned is that one of the most important things for me is having time to plan my weekly in advance. As soon as I write it all out on paper and can see it in front of me, whether that's on the Sunday before the week or sometimes even just midway through the week if I'm feeling stressed, I often end up feeling a lot more relaxed, and I have that muscle memory of what my week looks like going into it so I don't miss anything. And the third thing is that my planner needs to be someplace where I can include a little bit of honest self-reflection. Sometimes that looks like putting a sticker down and just witnessing the feeling that I'm having at that moment. Sometimes that looks like writing a mini journal entry and commenting on how I thought my meeting could have gone better or how I thought my week could have gone a little bit better. That witnessing is always going to be crucial for me. If your productivity system felt overgrown in 2023 like mine did, check out this video I have here on the screen about how to declutter your productivity and planning system. We go through all the tools I mentioned today, and I'm picking and choosing which are my favorites and which I'm going to take with me through the end of the year. And let me know what your 2023 was like down in the comments. Did you have a system that completely worked for you and that was totally perfect, or were you also planner hopping and trying new programs and moving around a lot like I was? Thank you guys so much for watching, for being awesome, for subscribing. I love you guys and I so appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.